Today I am in Michigan's Upper Peninsula in Baraga County, not too far from Covington, about 15 miles, and I'm at King Lake State Forest Campground. The campground is located on the north side of King Lake, and you'll notice right away probably that it's kind of hilly right here. As you enter the campground, the very first thing you come up to is the campground registration station and an outhouse, and it's a little bit of a hill getting up to this point. It's not hard to drive by any means, but it's a hilly campground. It's going to be a little bit harder for you to get your trailer or your pop-up camper in here and leveled off. I would definitely say this campground is designed more for tent use. The campground registration station does have a nice little map of King Lake, and we're going to go down to the lake first here at the boat launch. There is a nice paved boat launch here at the campground, and I would say it's definitely a boat launch designed for smaller boats. You're not going to put a speedboat in here that has any size to it. Definitely something nice size for a small tracker or something like that, maybe even just to put kayaks and canoes in. You can see right now there's a weird algae bloom going on. I should have put my kayak in here. It's actually really beautiful up here this fall. And I noticed here, and we'll see it at another one of the campsites, there's some islands out there that are actually really picturesque. It would have been super neat to go out and kayak around the islands if it wasn't such a windy day. Back at the campground, hiking uphill, we come to campsite number 1, and it shows up pretty good in the video. You can see they do run on a slope. This hilly campground does have 6 campsites that cost $20 a night, and it's kind of a nice area to stay. You can see you're surrounded by trees. You actually feel pretty remote. If I would have stayed here, I would have been the only person here at this campground. Another thing that's worth noting about this campground is that there's a lot of reports of moose sightings out here around King Lake. Apparently there's quite a high moose population up here in this area. However, I'm going to assume there's not a big bear population, otherwise they wouldn't have just had these metal garbage cans sitting around. If there was bears, they'd be in them constantly. Moving on down through the campground here, I'm going to talk a little bit about the fishing here at King Lake. Apparently there's really good panfish fishing. The lake supposedly has a good abundance of yellow perch and black crappie, along with some sunfish, smallmouth bass, walleye, and northern pike. So there's a good variety out here. I would have loved to have stayed here and gone out to those beautiful islands way out there. This campsite actually has a spot where you can just pull right up with your kayak or canoe and shoot right out to those islands. It doesn't look like it's very windy looking out over that water. There's not much for waves, but it was actually quite windy and cool today. I'm heading back downhill to site number 6 right here, and not far from site number 6 is the hand pump for water. Like I said at the very beginning, there's also an outhouse here. Aside from that, it's just really remote feeling and just an excellent little Upper Peninsula campground.